By the way, Razorfist, he's a documentarian guy.
Really?
Yeah.
He's the one who did the Dokken one?
Yes, he's done like Judas Priest and Dokken. And he's got all these great documentaries on YouTube.
Nice.
I mean, it's amazing the amount of material this guy accumulates.
Okay.
Actually, I want Razorfist to call into the show.
All right.
Call in 800-497-5891. I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about your documents.
I got something to say to you, pal.
Yeah, I definitely want to. I want you to call. So 800-497-5891. I want to talk about your documentaries that you do.
Right.
Because I do have a keen interest in all your all the stuff that you do and put out there online, and it's very extensive.
Look at this guy. He's the new Sam Dunn.
He is.
Sam Dunn with no credit.
Yeah. Well, he's like us. He does it for free, you know?
Exactly.
He does it for the passion of it.
Did you see, I don't know, since Bob Leather wants us to talk about, music and shit, did you see that Sam Dunn is launching his own heavy metal television channel?
I know that our good friend Bob, Bob had him on the show this past Tuesday.
Yeah, so he's launching his own. I wonder what Eric Braverman thinks about that. He's probably not real happy.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Hail and kill, everyone. It's the Razorfist. What's up?
It's the Razorfist, dude. I'm stunned by the quality of your documentaries that you do on YouTube. Oh, dude, your phone is really breaking up bad.
Yeah, I'm probably going to have to call back from a different phone, actually.
Oh, you sound fine right now.
Yeah, it's strange. It just cuts in and out. But I was just saying, they kind of started out as just normal reviews, and then they sort of just turned into documentaries as I continued to edit them more heavily, basically.
Well, since nobody really knows what we're talking about, let me preface this a little bit. Mm-hmm. You kind of do what we do here on the Classic Metal Show. You obviously have a passion for music, and you have the ability to do video type of stuff. And you took it upon yourself to chronicle the story and the documentary behind a lot of different bands. Now, how did you start this, and what gave you the idea? And give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Well, I was already doing videos on YouTube, right? I was doing video game reviews, whatever. I'm kind of inspired by like Dennis Miller, shit like that. But basically what inspired me to do the Metal Mythos, which is what the series is called, series of videos, was Judas Priest, actually. I don't know if you guys remember, Redeemer of Soul came out. They put video together where Judas Priest reviewed their discography, like the Sony Epic YouTube channel, right? And so they're going through all the albums, and I don't know about you. I know you guys have Tim Owens on the show a lot,
okay?
Right? Because I listen to you guys all the time, and. So, and I'm a big Ripper fan. I love pretty much all the stuff he's done, and I was looking forward. They're getting past Painkiller, and I'm like, Rob Halford's reviewing these albums. I'm like, I'm wondering what they're going to say about Jugulator. And because I dig Jugulator personally, Demolition not so much, but Jugulator has its moments. And they after Painkiller, they do a complete leapfrog, and they're like, so then the Angel of Retribution happened. And I'm like, what the fuck did I just witness? What the hell was that? And so basically, I'm like, at that point, I was like, well, this band can blow me as far as I'm concerned. I'm going to make a version of this, but I'm going to cover all the albums. put interviews and shit in there. So,
well,
basically, that was what inspired it. That became the first episode, was the Judas Priest episode that I did, and then I just kept doing it.
Right. Well, you've collected a lot of material from various interviews and, audio and this and that. How long does that take you to gather that information or gather that audio and edit it all together to kind of bolster your point that you're making?
I don't know, like a couple of months maybe. Depends on the video. Usually, I'm just such a fucking nerd about it, but if I just download it,
okay,
and just just in case I wind up making it. So that generally, like, goddamn, I mentioned in the Dokken video, shitloads. I mean, I had like 50 different I had Dokken interviews, I had George Lynch interviews, I had just Jeff Pilson interviews, I had John Norum interviews, I had everything, that I could possibly need, basically. And I watched whatever I could. It kind of like, what also inspired it was I just went on a Priest binge around the time that I made the first video, right? And a lot of people go through this, where you hear a really good album by a band, and then you're searching YouTube for that band, you know what I mean? And you're just looking up interviews, whatever you can get That's actually how I found your show, I think it was a Graham Bonnet interview you guys have put up on YouTube.
Right, absolutely.
But, so I'm digging through and basically like just binging, and that's basically how I get all the interview footage as well.
Sure.
So, and that's why I use a couple of clips from you guys. I hope you don't mind.
No, we don't mind. Obviously, I corresponded with you a little bit via the email, and I sent you over. Don was very pleased with the way that you put together the documentary on Dokken. I'm just going to read here to the fans, what Don said about it. He said, "I think this was a very honest, unbiased take on my career. He really did his homework, and I thank him for his very honest opinion, especially acknowledging John's contribution. Maybe after hearing this, I need to write another record. I feel great. I feel happy. I'm in love. I'm healthy. A reunion will never be, simply because I'm happy playing with John and Mick. I hope Chris Carville brings something to the table. I think he will. We finally have a chance to move forward with members that want to be in Dokken beyond just a paycheck." So he really appreciated your documentary, and I thought it was very well done as well. Not only because you used some of the clips from this show, but you gathered a lot of stuff, and it's a very worthy watch. And just like Chris and I here on the show, you obviously have a passion for what you do and did a great job at the editing and your points and your input and whatnot. And how many of these have you done?
Oh, damn. I think I've kind of lost count. I think I'm rounding the corner on proper Metal Mythos episodes. And then I did a couple music mythos that weren't quite heavy metal. I did a Queen episode. You can make an argument that Queen are metallic, at times, but they're not really a metal band. And then I did a Michael Jackson episode because I dig some Michael Jackson. So I did, I have kind of music mythos and metal mythos. So between them all, probably 12, 13, I don't know.
All right, cool.
Somewhere around there.
So you say it takes you about 2 to 3 months to gather enough information, enough audio and video to put one of these together?
I'm sorry, my phone is again being a...
That's all right.
So much for calling.
No, so you say it takes 2 to 3 months for you to gather enough information, enough audio clips to put one of these together.
Yeah, about a couple of months generally. It depends. Some of them come together really quick. Other ones take a little longer.
Sure. All right. Well, good stuff.
Depends on the.
Well, I just thought.
Yeah.
Well, I just thought because I enjoyed the ones. I've watched 3 or 4 of them so far. And they're very well done, independently produced, independently put together. Obviously, you're not doing it for money. You do it for the passion. I think the Moose could learn something from you if you get that reference. But
yeah.
But
Well,
go ahead.
No, sorry. It's just you guys are really breaking up. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I should have called on a better phone. But.
Yeah, we agree.
Yeah, those Obama phones, they're not all that great.
just like a lot of Obama's promises, I find. That's an interesting case, but yeah.
All right. Well, why don't you tell everybody where they can find your videos on YouTube?
Oh yeah, the YouTube is pretty simple. It's just called The Rageaholic. You can find it anywhere on YouTube, or you can search Metal Mythos on YouTube. It's right there, youtube.com/C/The Rageaholic if you want the exact URL, but it's easier to just.
Okay.
And it's been around for several years, so should be pretty easy.
All right. Metal Mythos from Rageaholic on YouTube. If you like documentaries, they're very well done, and it's got a lot of sense of humor. And obviously, since he's a fan of the CMS, you guys will dig it if you're into these music documentaries.
Well,
anything else?
No, that's it. Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Appreciate you calling, and I appreciate what you do, man. I like guys like you who do independent stuff and do a great job at it and do quality work. So what can we look forward to? What's the new one you're working on?
I hadn't done a lot of more extreme metal, because I know you guys don't really play on the classic metal. You guys are more hard rock, classic, heavy metal. You'll occasionally get into thrash, but I've one episode on black metal. I personally consider stuff like Venom or Bath metal in its own way. So I did an episode on Dark Throne a while back, and I'm going to do another episode on a black metal band, and it's going to be Gorgoroth.
Okay.
So that's the next episode.
Excellent. All right, man. Well, thanks for calling in, and go check it out over there on YouTube, Metal Mythos, and you'll appreciate those documentaries.
Thanks a lot for the plug, man.
All right, dude.
Yeah, hail and kill, hand job, and so forth. That's me.
And so forth.
So forth.
Love it.